What is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei, and welcome to the Entity DOJO podcast, your source for every freaking thing. What is up? What is up? It is a time to fight for Friday because today is my day. Coming to you with motivation across every station, doing my thing. What is up? What is up? Of course, keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, talk to me nice. Man, Friday is here, and I just want to say, man, fight through Friday. I mean, keep on pushing towards whatever you're going towards. I made a post on my Instagram, international_sensei. It was like back to back. I was just in, and I know other people have those days. That's why I want to speak on it. You have those days where you just like nothing feels correct, like your movement doesn't feel correct, or you just like your mindset's just off. And so I posted 3 videos. I posted one of Steve Harvey, one of Eric Thomas, and one of Denzel Washington. And I do that because I feel like one of the things about talking and one of the things about like speaking, you never know who you could impact with the words that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though my podcast isn't huge, one day I hope it will be. One day it will be. I mean, I say hope it will be. Speak things into existence. But I've had people that are listeners of my podcast DM me on Instagram like, yo, man, like I listened to you this morning on like a specific episode. Obviously, I'm not always on my freaking soapbox and preaching, whatever. Not preaching, but you know what I mean? Like just like getting in there and getting on my Eric Thomas type of stuff where I'm just talking about motivation and things like that. But when I do, I'm getting messages like, yo, man, I appreciate you just talking about me staying positive and pushing towards my goals and keeping good people around me, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's so important because you never know what a person's going through. I mean, I have people that, even with those few videos that I posted, caught them at the right time. Maybe they don't follow the Eric Thomases of the world and the Steve Harveys and the whatever. And even like, if you do follow them, it's not always that kind of content, especially like guys like Steve Harvey and Denzel. It's a lot of pictures and stuff. Eric Thomas is mostly like those like motivational things. But anyway, shout out to all of them, of course, legends in the game. But just being able to see the scope of what you want and continuing to go for it. I mean, there's always going to be bumps in the road. There's always going to be disappointing things, especially like this year, obviously with like everything going on with COVID and things like that. And even for like myself, I had some opportunities where things could have been very different if those things would have went through, and because of COVID and the way the world is now, they didn't, and it's very disappointing. But I think you just have to understand that like if it's for you, and it's gonna come. Now, within reason though, because like I can understand like it can get fucking exhausting to like wait months and months and months and months and see other people doing things and seeing other people flourish, things like that. So it can get very frustrating. But you need to, I think the important thing is to find other avenues within what you want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's smart to like take what you want and then just go away from it and then come back until it, like, when it works. That's not, I don't think you'll ever succeed that way. But I think finding other ways to enhance your pursuit of what you want in that area. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're someone that's going into acting and you're taking regular acting classes and you're just struggling to get booked on something, maybe you're at a point where you're comfortable, you can act well in your American accent, maybe incorporating a dialect coach instead of just a regular acting coach and using that money to pursue a dialect coach that can help you diversify yourself and have different accents and things like that. Or if you're a fighter and you're in MMA and you have a great striking coach, he can teach you Muay Thai, he can teach you boxing, he can teach you kickboxing, and you have an okay wrestling group, maybe incorporating a really strong jiu-jitsu practitioner to help you with the ground game, to help you with your guard and things like that. Like it's a lot of things you can do to enhance it and get around and come back. Like, I think one of the things that people do too often is get away and then they try to come back in, but they are with the same set of tools that they had before. They didn't upgrade the toolkit. They didn't buy new tools or nothing. They had the same toolkit that they had before that wasn't working in the first place. But they just think because they step back that they won't be able, that they'll be able to pursue it in a, I would say, I guess, in a better state of mind, I guess. But you need to step around. You know what I mean? You need to step around it. Step around it and then come back in. You know what I mean? It's like when you're fighting, especially like short guys will know what I'm saying when it comes to this. When you're fighting someone taller, you can't go straight forward. You can go off to the center line. You know what I mean? You can go off to the center line, things like that. You can go around him, but you're still going forward, but you're going around, you're cutting around, and then you're getting in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't want to be backing up and always leaving and leaving and leaving and leaving and leaving, because you're never going to get to the point where you're successful. Like in the fight game, if you're a short guy, you cannot back up. Literally, it's going to be either one, the most boring fight in the world, or two, you're going to be on the edge of that dude's power the entire night. So you got to be able to find your angles to cut in and then get inside. You know what I mean? You got to find your angles to duck around, get inside. So you got to just find your ways around different stuff. Like if you're good at gymnastics and you want to incorporate another skill, there's aerial work. There's that ribbon shit. Like I forgot what it's called, but the stuff with the ribbons, whatever, that's called, like the freaking rings. There's pole dancing. There's tons of stuff. Like there's so many avenues to increase your repertoire as you're pursuing your main objective. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even with like voiceover that I'm pursuing, like I'm working on commercial work, I'm working on like animation and stuff, and now I have one coach for commercial work mainly, and then I have another coach for accents and character and trying to bring out my versatility and expressing my vocal range. So it's just having different avenues, and so that when the time comes for you to show up, you show out, and you overshow, because like you're at a point where you have so many other skills. They're like, oh damn, he could do this, he could do this, he could do this, he could do this voice. Oh, this dude, he can do this dance, he could do, like, if you're a dancer, he can freaking salsa, he can tango, he can do hip hop, he can do jazz, he could do tap, he could do ballet, like he could do it all. And he's dumb nice, and he's just a dope performer. So like I'm like, okay, well now we could just use him for everything or whatever. But it's like a thing where we need to get out of the habit of the fall back on thing. And I was taught that when I was young. I mean, you need something to fall back on, you need something to fall back on. And this was probably the most powerful thing I've ever heard from a speaker. And I wish like going through, even before I went to college, going to high school and hearing a speech like that from Samuel L. Jackson, it's like, fall forward, fall into everything that you want. Don't run away from the fact that you might fail. Don't run away from the fact that you might stumble, that you might have bumps in the road. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many stories of people that have had like massive bumps in the road. And then there's some people who haven't, but you need to keep pushing for it, because in the end of it, you're going to be a lot happier than a person that gave up halfway through because something happened, or they got rejected from this audition that they really thought that they had, or they got picked over somebody else who might have looked better, or might have just had a friend on the project and they got picked over that. Look, stuff happens. It happens. But I think you need to understand that everything comes with time, number one. Like, everything is a process. Like, people go to college for 4 years. My sister went to college for 7. 7, 8 years, something like that, for college and law school. I went to college for 4. I have friends that are still in college now. They're going to be doctors. You're in college for damn near 10 years of your life. But then you'll talk about somebody who does comedy for 5, 6 years. But then when they blow up, you're like, oh, let's go see so-and-so at the whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you can't, we need to get rid of like the stigma of putting so much clout around professions. You know what I mean? Like, is that person making a living and providing for his family and providing for himself, regardless of what the hell his title is, if he's doing what he loves, you need to clap it up for that man. You need to clap it up for that person. You can't keep putting so much crap on other people. Like, you can't be like, oh, well, he's a comedian, he's a second-class citizen, he just be telling jokes. Look, jokes, for real, be helping people who are depressed, who are sad. So, look, as much as that doctor is healing your wounds, that comedian, in essence, is healing your soul. Like, it's laughter is good for the soul, so he's healing your soul. So he is a healer as well. The only difference is he don't have the freaking piece of paper that says he's certified to heal you. He just had to, but as much grinding as the doctor had to do in the classroom is the same amount of grinding the comedian had to do on stage, and getting booed and getting beer bottles thrown at you and getting shows canceled and was it? Kevin Hart was saying, like, he was doing shows for like steak dinners. Like, he wasn't even getting paid sometimes. He was getting shows for steak dinners. Or Sasha Banks, she's a wrestler. She was getting pizza for freaking shows. So she would travel like 2 hours out the way to perform just like life-threatening stuff. Like, as wrestlers, I mean, you're getting jacked up and you're getting like a slice of pizza. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, understand that the journey is difficult. The journey is difficult to whatever you want to do in life. I don't care if you want to freaking sell cookies, to freaking do an open heart surgery, to be an aerospace engineer, to be a freaking professional MMA fighter, to be whatever. Everything comes with its challenges. And just because you made a quote unquote the proverbial real job choice, which is like the going to college and becoming a doctor, a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. If that's not for you, then it's not for you. And why put yourself through a process? Because everything, like I said before, everything is a process. Why put yourself through a process in which you don't see yourself being content with the end result? Like, money's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Like, money is always gonna come. Money will always be there. They print so much damn money during the day. Money will never not be there. But the ability to be satisfied with what you're doing, and the ability to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Just the ability to be, not entitled, but just the ability to be like captivated by the things that you do on a daily basis and inspired by the things that you do on a daily basis. That should be the goal. Because money comes. You could have millions of dollars and be freaking miserable. There's millionaires in this world right now that are freaking on depression medications, all kinds of crazy stuff, because they're not happy. Like, you can really be happy and live a good quality life, but you don't need all this extra stuff to validate your life. You need to enjoy what you do. But that's what I would just say, man. Like, keep pushing towards what you do and don't run away from your area of interest because it's getting harder. Go around. You know what I mean? Find another angle. That's, in essence, slip the punch. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's throwing a jab at you, you know you don't have space to back up. You got to slip to the left, slip to the right, and then you got to go in and go for your attack. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, go around and then come back in, cut around, slip under, go over. But you're still, even if when you're going under, when you're going to the side, you're still looking at that goal. You're still looking at that dream. You're still looking at that life. You're still looking at what you want. You're not running away from it because it got hard. You're running at it, but you're just running at it from another angle. You're running at it with another skill. You know what I mean? You're running at it with new information. But that is my spiel for Friday. Fight for Friday, man. Fight every single day, but of course, fight on a Friday. Friday is my day, and I am the International Sensei, and this was the Entity Dojo podcast. Please follow me on Twitter at Sensei_Global21. Instagram is International_Sensei. The Entity Dojo podcast is on Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, YouTube, and all of that good stuff, man. Thank you so much for listening. I also will be having the wristbands available very, very soon. So if you are at 404 Esports, if you are at ATL Stunts, if you are at, I'm trying to think a couple other places, if you are at Flip City South, or there's a bunch of places that I go train at, or if you just see me around, I'll probably have them with me, and you want to get a wristband, they'll be like $5 each, or or whatever. So if you want to get a wristband to support, I would love it.